Hi everybody, it's Marlene with Miami Ghost Chronicles, Stories of the Supernatural. And I'm out here at what's now called Grandin Park Botanical Gardens, which used to be the site of the Grandin Park Zoo. Okay, I remember coming to this zoo when I was a kid, and it's located on Key Biscayne Island, which sits right off of Miami. And this area, the way it got started was back in 1948. There was a traveling circus zoo kind of deal that broke down. I guess they couldn't even go on with their animals, and they took over some goats, bears, and monkeys. And that's how the zoo got started in 1948. And they took over, it was quite a large area here in Key Biscayne, which back then, originally, this whole island of Key Biscayne, like from the turn of the century onward, was a plantation, okay, a banana plantation. And what happened was that as the years went by, they kept adding to the animals. They, took donations from animals being given to them. They bought animals. I mean, it was they took over, and it supplemented the animals little by little. But what happened was, and I'm going to turn this around a minute so you guys can see how beautiful this is out here. Okay, what happened was that back in 1965, okay, Hurricane Betsy blew into Miami. And what happened was that, like I said, this sits on an island. This is what's left of some cages. Okay, you can tell there's some bars up there, but the watering troughs and everything, this is all what's left. And they've painted this over. But anyway, what happened was that because of that hurricane, a bunch of animals drowned in their cages. Remember, this was at the time when they would keep these animals, unfortunately, in very small cages, and also some animals killed themselves. They were in such a panic because, of course, being animals that had instincts, and they realized they needed to get out of harm's way, and unfortunately, they couldn't. So what happened was that after that, they realized that they couldn't just afford to worry about every time that there was a hurricane churning off the coast, what they were going to do with all these poor animals. And as you could tell, some of these cages are like really, really small, okay? And that's around that time was when they started to look for another place to take these animals. And then in 1980, they purchased what's now Zoo Miami out in South Dade County, which is where all the animals are at. And it's almost like they made up for these really small cages, because Zoo Miami doesn't have any cages. They're just areas surrounded by moats, so the animals can't get out. But it's a cageless zoo. And if you take a look at some of the back of these, as you could tell, if you take a look into some of these things, I think these were big cats that were kept in here. Okay, well, there's a tree growing in here. As you could tell, probably it had bars up there, but you could tell that's an iron door. Okay, and this is another iron door. And let's put it this way. You don't have this type of security. You can tell over there, that's like you don't have this type of security if you got ostriches, if you know what I mean. So you could tell this was really, really a small area if you had a big cat or something along those lines. This one here has still some of the roof up there. I don't know if you guys can see it. Okay. But some of this is cemented. You could tell these are the original cages that they used to have, I guess where they would keep them at certain times or feed them. And that's that old Florida building, As you can tell, this right here, this is like what's left of the cages. And also, I want to take you over here. This is a beautiful spot. I mean, it's just full of a lot of iguanas, peacocks, some alligators. I haven't seen them, but there's supposedly some in the lakes. And basically the remains of what used to be a very beautiful zoo, which it even had a little train that would take you around the perimeter, like a 1.5 mile ride. around the perimeter of the zoo. Plus, this used to have a lot of people come out here. I mean, this was not just exclusively a tourist thing. Us native Miamians, we were here all the time because it's right next to Crandon Park Beach. Okay, so this is also what's left of another area for animals that, of course, you know, the structure is just left here. And the reason that I am out here, you may ask yourself, is besides the, can you hear that echo, echo, echo? You could tell, see how some type of animal is kept here? Okay, all right, you don't have, it's got bars there, up here, and you don't have, again, a heavy duty cage like that unless you have something that you want to make sure that stays in and does not come out. All right, so besides the nostalgia, believe it or not, I have a lot of people telling me that they've been out here, like around this time, like now. I came out here on a weekday on purpose when there's little or no people. And they say that they've heard a lot of weird noises. And people say, well, of course there's weird noises. You've got a bunch of peacocks and stuff. No. The kind of noises people are telling me that they're hearing is stuff like roars. A lot of what right off the bat sounds very like residual stuff. Okay. And I said, you know what, let me check it out, which is why I'm out here. And like I said, besides roars and what might be residual stuff, I have had people, because, you know, this park is closed after hours. I believe at sundown it closes. And I have had people telling me that they have actually seen shadows. They've seen what they thought were people, like let's say, like, you know, over a bridge or something, and then there's nobody there. And the reason why I think it stands out so much is like now, there's nothing or nobody out here. I don't know if you can hear the peacocks. So, and they'll say, oh, I thought I saw somebody coming towards me, like another person, because it's very apparent because there's nobody out here, and then nobody appears. And there's certain of these trails where the person's got to pass you. In other words, one way in, one way out kind of deal. So I've had more than one person tell me that, where they've been here like this in broad daylight on a beautiful day, and they'll see a figure of somebody, always just one person, like off, like, oh, they think, oh, somebody's coming over here. Like I said, and since usually you don't see that many people, you're waiting for somebody to show up, and nobody shows up. So anyway, I wanted to come out here and let you guys take a look-see. Plus, I'm going to do a complete show on Key Biscayne. There's a lot of mysterious and unusual things that have gone on in this little island right off of Miami. Okay, a lot of also like disturbing things, but of course a nostalgia, and of course it's definitely, despite the tropical setting, the sunshine, the iguanas, God, they're all over the place. You could feel it. There is. Maybe it was just all the human traffic that was here for many years, the animals that were kept here. But there's definitely something or somebody that walks here and is still reliving the times when this was still an active zoo. And I hope that tonight you catch my show at 7 p.m. on YouTube, Stories of the Supernatural. And I'm doing an interview with Mike Ricksecker from Haunted Road Media. He's a fantastic author, also a paranormal investigator out of Ohio. You're going to love that interview. He's got great stories to tell. And I also hope you catch the show that I do all about Key Biscayne. So it was great to talk to you guys. Take care.